Hello everybody and welcome back to another anti-MLM video. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to take a look at Arbonne's income disclosure statement from 2025 and we will compare it to 24. I did a similar video where I took a look at Monat's income disclosure statement, compared that to the data from 24, and also took an in-depth look into other data, other information. And I think it is good to also take a look at Arbonne, because I've spoken about Arbonne a lot more this year than I did the last year, and I wanted to take a look at the income disclosure statement also to compare or to contrast two network marketing companies. The Monat video about the Monat income disclosure statement is linked up here, but today we're going to take a look at Arbonne, because in my opinion it also shows the comparison between a rapidly declining network marketing company that is falling apart as we speak, although they're launching in new territories again and again and again to sustain what they have and fail while doing so, because Monat's numbers are horrible. And then we have another network marketing company like Arbonne, where I think the numbers are more stable. So we will take a look. This is a comparison of the two income disclosure statements. The one publicly available is always the most updated one, but I took screenshots also from the ones from the year and the years before. The first thing I recognized is that the cost to join Arbonne has decreased. So it looks like Arbonne also took initiatives to make the business model more attractive for market partners. Other network marketing companies we see do that as well. They come up with new programs, with new incentives. The registration fee was in 2024 $99 and is now $65, so minus 34%. Same for the annual renewal fee, which was also lowered to $65. So there is a reduced upfront and cost of becoming an independent consultant within Arbonne, but that is just the starting cost. So it doesn't look that high. But when we take a look what the Arbonne distributors purchase, what they need to run this as their businesses, then we see that most people still end up in debt, as the numbers will also show us, because Arbonne's products are pretty pricey and it is expected of the market partners to use them to show their transformation and to regularly express on social media and also in person how good they feel thanks to the numerous products they use from Arbonne. That is something I've spoken about in multiple videos when I took a look at Arbonne or at posts from people in Arbonne. The sheer amount of product they use is it's a lot, let's just say it like that. The participation data is pretty much the same from 24 till 25. In 24, 13% of the consultants made no gross earnings, and in 25 it was 13.5%. That's the one increase we can see, but it is still pretty much stable compared to the year before. When we take a look at the distribution of the money across the individual ranks, we see that the numbers for Arbonne are also declining. The median annual earnings, in my opinion, is always a better depiction of what most people are able to make at those ranks, because it excludes those who make a lot and it excludes those who make little to nothing or very little. The average doesn't exclude those peaks. So that's why the median annual earnings are always the interesting ones when I do this video. And we can see that at the lowest rank, that has pretty much stayed the same. There's a decline for the district managers. The area managers also made less than the year before by a couple of thousand for the entire year. The same is true for the regional vice presidents. They also in 25 made about $10,000 less median annual earnings than they did the year before. And we can also see a decline for the national vice presidents, who make $125,968 in 25 compared to the $137,683 in 2024. When we take a look at the average earnings, we can also see that there is a decline from rank to rank per each year. Let me take a look. Yeah, that is true for all the ranks. Now, I think the median annual earnings is a better depiction because it does represent more what most people are able to make at that rank. So what we can see here, that the people on average make less and less money per each rank. Most people are, as is typical for network marketing, at the two lowest rank, and they made less than they did the year before. So they already don't make a lot of money. They're losing money, as we have seen and as I've reacted to in some of the videos. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars on Arbonne supplements with the belief that that is something they need. They need to showcase the products on social media to make the business opportunity, the products look attractive, to show you're using them regularly. Here's what I've personally experienced using these products. So just for that reason, you need to purchase the product. And then there's also very likely the belief among Arbonne distributors that the products do them a lot of good without any proof whatsoever, when these reports are just subjective stories by network marketers who try to sell you on those products. Those people lost money yet again. And if they're not able to recoup the money but spend thousands and thousands each and every year on those products, as is not unreasonable, an unreasonable estimation when we take a look what the Arbonne Hunts post publicly, then these people end up in more severe debt than they did before. And although the people at the higher ranks, they make significantly more money than the people at the lower ranks, but we can also see a steady decline in revenue. Now, all of these numbers are before expenses and they're before taxes. What I also think is always interesting with Arbonne is that the people at the top rank, they don't make as much money as you would expect from somebody at the top of a network marketing company. I mean, even Monat, as crumbling as it is, and I believe that they're pretty much prepping two people for success, because we've seen a spike in numbers for two people in Monat. Even those people are able to make like $1 million a year. And even the top people, 90th percentile, the national vice president's rank in 25, are far from that number. So overall, the number of income or the level of income in Arbonne, I think, is smaller than it is in other network marketing companies. But the decline is something that we can see across network marketing companies. And we can also see that according to the numbers that Arbonne has shared here. And when we take a look at the highest reported earnings, we can also see the decline there. At every rank, the people, even the best performers within each rank, they're making less and less money. The lowest percentage, as expected, is still, or the lowest income at the consultant rank is still 0. Those are people who either don't run the business or people who are not able to sell the products. And when we take a look at the rank distribution, we can see that there are not a lot of changes at the upper ranks. The area managers have gained a little bit, 0.3%. The percentage, 1.1% at the regional vice president's rank and 0.5% at the national vice presidents. Those are still small numbers and they have pretty much remained the same at the upper ranks. Now, less people are at the consultant at the lowest rank in 25 and more are at the district manager's rank, but overall the numbers are pretty steady. There's not a lot of movement, and the overall conclusion, as is usual for network marketing companies, is that most people are at the lowest ranks and very few people at the middle ranks and hardly anybody at the higher ranks, at the leadership ranks, and that is true here as well. The overall observations I can make comparing the income disclosure statements is that joining became less expensive, from $99 to $65, both the registration and the renewal fee. They dropped in an effort to make the opportunity look and sound interesting, and if the upfront cost is lower, it might incentivize more people to join. Although that is just the upfront cost. I want to stress this again. That is just the cost to join, and then you still have to buy the products. And that's where the danger lies, where a lot of people lose money. The overall percentage of consultants that had 0 earning is pretty much stable, 13% compared to 13.5 in 25. The average and median earnings, they dropped pretty much across all ranks. Also the leadership ranks, while most people are at the lowest ranks. Most people are still participating there. Also there, the percentage is pretty much the same. There was no movement when it comes to the percentage of consultants at the top ranks, and there are less people at the consultant rank. Some ranked up to the district manager's rank, to the second rank, but overall those numbers are pretty stable. So to me, overall, also this income disclosure statement shows that Arbonne is more stable within the instability of the universe of network marketing companies than Monat, for example, where the numbers very clearly show that there's a rapid decline, whereas in Arbonne, it looks to me like there's a more slower decline, which is also typical for network marketing companies. MLMs have a chip on the shoulder. A lot of people now understand that it's a really bad business opportunity if you want to make money. It's likely that you push money into a system that does not pay you back, and we can see the slow death of these companies, in my opinion. Overall, though, there's still this downward trajectory, and the distribution of people at the individual ranks is also absolutely typical for MLMs. Most people at the lower ranks who will lose money compared to very few people at the top who will make an income, and even their income, as we can see, is dropping. So I thought it was interesting to take a look at this one as well, because although we see a steady decline in network marketing companies also in Arbonne, it is not as rapid as it is in Monat. Now, just to be clear, that doesn't mean that I'm saying, hey, if you want to have somewhat of a chance to be successful, maybe don't join Monat, maybe join Arbonne. That's not what I'm saying at all, because we see that the numbers are crappy no matter what MLM you take a look at. In my opinion, it's just a slower decline and it's a slower death than it is in Monat. Arbonne also seems to be more stable when it comes to the territory launches. I'm not aware of any territories they launched in recently, whereas Monat is pumping out new recruits in other territories in the hopes very likely that the top people and overall Monat will be bumped up with those numbers rather than focusing on the existing territories, and Arbonne seems to focus more on the territories they're already active in. They are already live in. Let me know your thoughts. I thought that was an interesting comparison. I think it's always interesting to take a look at the income disclosure statements. I will not do that for every MLM, but whenever the new updated income disclosure statements now start to be published, some have already been published, then I will also include them in my videos in order to present facts and numbers that many distributors like to omit in their pitches. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for your support. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. You can hype the video. You can comment something down below. You can share the video. That always helps the channel and the videos out a lot. And if you liked this video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one, next Friday, 1 p.m. Central European Time. Until then, tschüss!